I'm Truman the Grey Merchant, and it's time to press F to pay respects. This is a compilation of my videos on all 34 MTG legends whose names start with F. As always, I've scored each entry on how much of a character they are, and added additional fun facts, opinions, and statistics. Please like and subscribe to support this ongoing series. Thane is a human warlock from Arcavios who appeared in the Commander 2021 Silverquill Statement deck. Known as a broker, Ilorico says, lost an important textbook? Craving some rare delicacy from home? Need something inconveniently forbidden? Enter Thane. He's got an extensive network of connections on and off campus, and he can procure just about anything, so long as you can afford his price. Falco Spara is a bird demon from Capenna who appeared in the 2022 set Streets of New Capenna. Ilorico says, few beings have clear memory of the city's beginning, but first among that exclusive group is the head of the brokers. Raised from mortality to demonhood during New Capenna's founding days, Falco has built his brokers to become New Capenna's professional protectors of the highest order. He fought Atraxa during the Phyrexian invasion. Falthus is a nightmare cat from an unknown plane who appeared in the 2020 set Commander Legends. Ilorico says, to call all black cats bad luck is a gross exaggeration. That being said, if you summon Falthus as your familiar, you might want to watch your back. It's not like she doesn't have her perks. With Falthus by your side, dark magic will multiply in power, and weaker foes are nowhere to be found. However, Falthus' connection to corrupting forces is so great that tends to physically manifest on her current master. But as long as you're okay with a few malignant mutations, you'll find yourself partnered with a very cute kitty. Far Fortune is a human mercenary from Castal, who appeared in the 2025 set Aetherdrift. Ilorico says, leader of the End Riders, Far Fortune is a scarred, road-bitten ride boss who led her gang from wasteland gravefields of Gastal to the wide and endless horizons of the multiverse. Once driven by a white-hot rage, her life in exile has calmed Far Fortune's bloodthirst. However, her desire for revenge has not faded. She still nurses an ember of that old anger and uses it to fuel her ultimate quest, return home and take Gastal for herself. She survived the Grand Prix and was briefly mind-controlled by Jace. Sir Farron is a human knight from Eldraine who appeared in the 2019 set Throne of Eldraine. They belonged to the Garenbrig court. They are known as the Hedgehammer and state, wards are pointless. It's what you do with your hammer that counts. They ride a bear. They retained their commitment to the virtue of strength during the Wards of Eldraine era, when many knights had died or gone rogue. Farid was a human soldier from Dominaria who appeared in the 2022 The Brothers' War Commander Mishra's Burnished Banner deck. He belonged to the Falahi Empire and fought in the Brothers' War under Mishra. He was cynical and practical, trading goods and eventually information with enemy Argavians in No Man's Land to ensure mutual survival of people over machines. Based on art position, Ferric is a goblin villain from Zendikar. They're an associate of Cam. The two of them are the 2025 set Through the Omen Path 1's equivalent of Hobgoblin Mantled Marauder. They fly through the plains floating ruins on a hang glider while wrestling each other, hinting at an adverse relationship. Firbothip is a homunculus from Ravnica. He first appeared in art, flavor text, and story material of the 2013 set Gatecrash, receiving cards in War of the Spark, March of the Machine, and Outlaws of Thunder Junction. He was originally a lowly but content worker for the Azorius Senate. During a mission to capture a Rakdos serial killer, he was used as bait. Afterwards, he ended up lost all over Ravnica, going from the jury review to the top of Nicol Bolas' statue and beyond. During this time, he ended up on the front line of the Phyrexian invasion, assisting Borborygmos. Next, he got even more lost, winding up on Thunder Junction. Feather is an angel from Ravnica. She first appeared in the 2005 novel of the same name and received cards in War of the Spark and Murders at Karlov Manor Commander. She belongs to the Boros Legion. After making a terrible mistake, she was bound to the Wojek League, working alongside Aegris Kos. After all other Boros angels were killed, Feather was briefly made Guildmaster. A new angel, Aurelia, considered her unworthy and took the position from her. Feather defended her home during the War of the Spark and Phyrexian invasion. Still rejected by Aurelia, she continues to investigate crime. Feldon is a human artificer from Dominaria. He was first mentioned in the 1994 set Antiquities and received cards in Commander 2014 and The Brothers' War. He co-founded the Union of the Third Path, a group dedicated to neutrality during the Brothers' War. After the Third Path's destruction, he married Lauren, another co-founder. She eventually passed away, and Feldon became obsessed with bringing her back. After encountering all 5 colors of magic, he finally found peace. Felissa is a vampire wizard from Arcavios, who appeared in the Commander 2021 Silverquill Statement deck. El article says she is the reigning queen bee of Silverquill. She's stylish, popular, and devastatingly witty. When you're in her good graces, as everyone wants to be, she's the picture of charm. But on her bad side, and she and her loyal entourage can be absolutely vicious. If she can't crush you with words alone, she'll do it in an after-hours mage duel. Felix, 5 Boots, is an ooze rogue from an unknown plane who appeared in the 2024 Outlaws of Thunder Junction Commander Grand Larceny deck. They likely recently immigrated to Thunder Junction through an omen path and adopted the local fashion. Their flavor text says, multiple pseudopods and no vital organs make dueling a whole lot easier. Felothar Zanhar is a human warrior from Tarkir who appeared in the 2025 Tarkir Dragonstorm main and commander sets. El article says, a trans woman and a descendant of the former Khan Rayhan, Felothar was a formidable warrior in Dromica's brood. She found herself in an underground fortress near a still-standing kin tree. In her desperation to save her unit during the Phyrexian invasion, Felothar called upon these ancestral spirits for protection. She was branded a traitor and fled to the growing rebellion against Dromica. A heroic leader, she became indispensable in the fight against the Dragon Lord. Felothar reinstated the Absinthe House Zanhar and was selected as Khan of the newly reformed clan. Firaz was a human planeswalker from an unknown plane. He first appeared in flavor and story material of the 1995 set Homelands and received a card in the 2026 set Mystery Booster Commander Edition. El article says he gained a level of wisdom and understanding few planeswalkers achieve. Thus, after having conversed with so many creatures and beings and studied so many cultures, the practice of summoning creatures by wizards has come to disgust Firaz. He banished dark summoners and set up a magical protection for Agratha. He was married to Sarah, and both are well remembered. Parafor is a treefolk druid from Lauren Shadowmoor, who appeared in the 2026 Lauren Eclipsed Blight Curse deck. El article says she is the last of the Yew treefolk, a subspecies that had presumably gone extinct with the death of the sapling of Kolfanor. In secret, a small cutting of the sapling survived, saved by Kolfanor's former apprentice, Reese, and was nursed back to health by an elder treefolk. Her first moments were of death and pain. The treefolk conducting the ritual died so that she might live, while cruel Fae attacked her. Cruel and vindictive, Parafor has grown up in Shadowmoor without the guidance of other treefolk to temper her emotions. Phineas is a rabbit archer from Bloomburrow who appeared in the 2024 set of the same name. El article says he is known as a crack shot throughout the village of Goodhill, but not much further. At first, archery was meant to be a time waster, but once his mother saw him nearly hit a target, she set him up with every manner of lesson she could. Since then, Phineas has always known he'd be a star archer or else he'd let his mother down. He set his sights on joining the Paw Patch Party, but his heart is set on adventure away from the watchful eye of his family. When Mabel asked for help, he knew his bow would come in handy, though he couldn't know how tough the quest would be. Firesong is a Minotaur cleric from Dominaria, who appeared as the buy box promo for the 2018 set of the same name. El article says, high in their frigid mountain home, the Horland Minotaurs worship heat in 2 forms: the sun that nourishes their meager alpine harvest, and the hearth fires that warm their cavernous homes. The siblings Firesong and Sunspeaker unite these 2 traditions, and their echoing ballads are as famous as their skill in battle. They defended their home during the Phyrexian invasion. Furia is an angel cleric from Kaldheim who appeared in the 2021 set of the same name. El article says she was a shepherd who was paired with a reaper counterpart. Together they had to judge a warrior who fled a battle. Furia saw that the warrior was destined for greater things. The reaper, refusing to acknowledge this vision, prepared to take the warrior's life. Furia, in an unprecedented act, stuck the reaper down. As the reaper lay dying, Furia found herself absorbing her essence. She is now one of a kind, the first Valkyrie to be both shepherd and reaper. She defended her plane during the Phyrexian invasion. The first sliver is a sliver from an unknown plane who appeared in the 2019 set Modern Horizons. In their nest, they tower over dozens of sliver eggs and hatchlings. Their power over their kind is so strong they can raise the dead. One flavor text says that the most tenacious members of the hive instinctively guard the first sliver. Physic is an artifact spider hero from Alara. They are the 2025 set Through the Omen Path 1's equivalent of Iron Spider Stark upgrade. The automaton is known as an Ethereum mechanic and can be seen creating or repairing an intricate filigree design. They presumably belong to the Esper. Phaleem is a goblin-human villain from the Edge. They're the 2025 set through the Omen Path 1's equivalent of Green Goblin. The odd, four-eyed, flying being is the creation of a gene splicer named Gobin, made in an advanced lab. Flitwing is a fairy detective from Ravnica who appeared in the 2026 set Mystery Booster Commander Edition. They belong to the Liev column, a law enforcement division of the Azorius Senate. They're an enthusiastic detective, stating people often miss the little details. Thankfully, every tiny mistake they make is a big clue for me. Florian Verdarin is a vampire noble from Innistrad who appeared in the 2021 set Innistrad Midnight Hunt. A article says he was a vampire with a vision. Tired of attacking humans for their blood, Florian realized things would be much simpler if the humans freely gave it away. A master of charm magic, Florian put his theory to the test. He politely requested each citizen make a weekly offering of blood. Not enough to kill them, more than enough to feed Florian and his companions. Always seeking to impress, Florian is eager to share this breakthrough with his progenitor, Olivia. Flubs is a frog scout from Bloomburrow who appeared as the 2024 set's Buy a Box promo. The article says, it is rumored by Summon Valley that Flubs is the luckiest creature alive. Ever the risk taker, Flubs walks wherever the winds take him, guided by intuition and a thirst for adventure. Yet, despite his careless wanderings, he has yet to see a consequence. Since the opening of the Omen Paths, Flubs has taken up exploration past the borders of his plane, with word of his luck having disseminated. This following has since grown into a mysterious multiversal organization, all with Flubs at its improbable center. Floros is a merfolk performer from the Universe who appeared in the 2022 set Infinity. He is one of the 5 Mirrors Marvels, the top circus group at the Astrotorium. They successfully demanded that contractually each must be treated the same. Floros is right-handed, eats lots of fish, and loves any merfolk type set, like Lauren. His deepest, darkest secret is that shine isn't natural. Fortune is a beast mount from an unknown plane who appeared in the 2024 set Outlaws of Thunder Junction. He is the loyal steed of Annie Flash. A story article says his markings were like her other Palominos, but Fortune wasn't a creature Annie had a name for. His intelligence matched any human she'd ever met, though Fortune's sense of direction was another thing entirely. They were well suited to one another that way. Annie provided Fortune assistance in navigating the desert, and Fortune offered her a dependability she hadn't had in some time. Mr. Foxglove is a fox rogue from Bloomburrow who appeared in the 2024 Bloomburrow Commander Peace Offering deck. The article says he is oft declared the adventurer most likely to win your heart. He's known for swashbuckling and gallivanting, but one fateful night, his luck had almost run out. Coming back from an adventure, he stumbled into Miss Bumperflower's inn, weary and worse for wear. Romantics will tell you that he laid in her lap and she tended his wounds, but Mr. Foxglove won't admit to anything of the sort. Still, he's often seen at the inn at odd times of day, hoping to catch her oblivious eye. Francisco is a bird pirate from Ixalan who appeared in the 2023 Lost Caverns of Ixalan Commander Ahoy Mateys deck. The well-dressed parrot appears to be a Brazen Coalition mascot, envisioned by design as the pet of Malcolm and Breeches. Frankie Peanuts is an elephant rogue from the Universe who appeared in the 2004 set Unhinged. The cigar-smoking, pinstripe suit-wearing Loxodon is coded as a mob boss, with the flavor text, "Don't cross him, or you end up sleeping with the merfolk." According to a ruling, he hates snitches, but he detests unsporting conduct. Freyalise is an elf-human planeswalker from Dominaria. She first appeared in flavor text and story material of the 1995 set Ice Age, receiving cards in Commander 2014 and Jumpstart Historic Horizons. She sparked during the Ice Age and was worshipped as a goddess by various natural folk of the plane. Eventually, she was able to end the Ice Age by casting the Ward spell. She again protected Dominaria by joining the 9 Titans against the Phyrexian invasion. She would later sacrifice herself to seal a time rift. Her legacy and worship live on. Fumiko was a human samurai from Kamigawa who appeared in the 2005 set Betrayers of Kamigawa. A law article says they are a powerful, bitter Ronin in Godo's service. They were presumably therefore a bandit as well. They were known as the Low Blood. Frumulus is a vampire insect from an unknown plane who appeared in the 2024 Foundation's Jumpstart Black Icky decks. The massive Hercules beetle is known as the Infestation and holds power over insects, leeches, slugs, and worms. Fergal is an elf shaman from Ravnica who appeared in the 2024 set Alchemy Murders at Karlov Manor. They're a Devkaran elf, meaning they probably belong to the Golgari swarm. In the Undercity, they nurture giant leeches. Finn is a human warrior from Kaldheim who appeared in the 2021 set of the same name. Lorca says the leader of the Kana clan is renowned as the only human who has ever managed to wound the Cosmos Serpent. When Finn stabbed the beast, The great serpent's poisonous blood splashed on him and was absorbed into his body, but rather than killing him, it turned his blood to poison as well. Now his body takes its own corrosive revenge against any enemy who successfully strikes him. He defended his plane against Tybalt's Doomscar and later the Phyrexian invasion, where he killed a completed coma. Stats time. As always, humans dominate the species count, with vampires again taking second place. Looking at every character so far, humans and vampires are also first and second place. For place of origin, unknown leads, with Dominaria and Ravnica tying for a second. Looking at every letter so far, Arcavios jumps to third. Ixalan, tied with Ravnica, maintains its slim lead over Kamigawa. For the first miscellaneous statistic, the average character score is 2.021. Fumulus was the most watched video at 9,000 views, cementing the trend that's usually the most random of these videos that does the best. Faraz had the biggest gap between a character's introduction and card at 31 years. He's also my favorite major character of the bunch. I like how he's nice. The Phyrexian invasion of the Mortiverse was mentioned 7 times, for over a fifth of the characters. The character I was most surprised to learn has essentially no lore is the first Sliver. With how popular Slivers are, you'd think they'd have revealed something about the sky by now. My favorite minor character was Farid. His one-story appearance is a presumably World War I inspired exploration of humanity on the battlefield. On the opposite side of the complexity spectrum, I appreciate how ridiculous Felix Five-Boots is conceptually. Looking at every character, the score goes up a little to 2.094. Faraz takes the overall biggest gap as well. The Phyrexian invasion has been mentioned for 58 characters. Bernard remains the most watched video, now at 11,000 views. Will anyone ever end this ginger reign? Thank you for watching. Who is your favorite F freak? Thank you to my patrons for their continued support. Please consider joining them for access to exclusive perks. I also have a free newsletter now. Keep carrying on. Bye.